Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something really interesting, a kind of strength that doesn't have to yell to make a point. We're diving right into the art of quiet confidence.
So, let me just kick this off with a question for you, one I think a lot of us have probably thought about at some point. In a world that seems to celebrate the loudest person in the room, is being quiet a weakness? I mean, we're always told to speak up, right? But what if the real power isn't in speaking, but in listening?
You know, to really get a feel for this, let's dive into a simple story. It's a parable, really, and it does a fantastic job of showing the hidden strength you can find in silence.
Okay, so picture this, a classroom, and it's just filled with students who are constantly talking, always boasting about what they know, tripping over each other to be the first one with their hand up. You can just feel the noise in the air, this frantic rush to prove who's the smartest.
But right in the middle of all that chaos, there was this one student who was totally different. He almost never said a word. He would just sit there and listen and watch. He just wasn't playing that game, that scramble for attention.
And of course, what happens next? The other students, they just didn't get it. They teased him, probably thought he was slow or just didn't have anything worth saying. But here's the thing. While they were all busy talking, he was busy doing something way, way more powerful. He was observing.
Then, one day, boom, the teacher throws out a problem that is so complex, so tricky, that nobody had an answer. It was a total crisis, the kind you can't just solve by shouting out the first thing that comes to mind. And for the first time, the classroom went quiet.
And the loud ones, the boasters, they were totally stumped. Their usual trick of just throwing out quick answers, it wasn't working. See, they were so caught up in the performance of being smart that they completely missed the little details of the actual problem.
And this is the moment everything changes. The silent scholar, the one who had been patiently watching and putting together all the little pieces everyone else had ignored, quietly raises his hand, and he lays out the solution, a solution that didn't come from being loud, but from deep, uninterrupted thought.
So, that story about the scholar, it's not just some random tale. It's a parable, and it's built to teach us a much deeper lesson about wisdom. And to really get that lesson, we've got to look at another cool idea called the King's Game.
So what's a parable anyway? Well, it's exactly what we just heard. It's a simple story that's used to shine a light on a much bigger, more profound truth. The story of the silent scholar is a perfect example, teaching a lesson that goes way beyond that one classroom. And this leads to a really powerful idea, one that can kind of flip your perspective. It's this. True wisdom often looks like foolishness to the world. And there's this classic metaphor, the King's Game, that just perfectly explains why the scholar's quiet method looked so weak to everyone else.
The story goes something like this. A king would offer a clever boy a choice between a really valuable gold coin and a less valuable silver one. And every single day, without fail, the boy would choose the silver coin. The crowds would laugh at him, calling him a fool. I mean, why not take the gold, right? But what did the boy know that they didn't? He knew that the moment he took the gold coin, the game was over. By choosing the lesser silver coin, he made sure the king would keep offering him the choice day after day.
And bam, that brings it all back around. The scholar's silence, that was his silver coin. To his classmates, it looked like the foolish choice. They were all scrambling for the gold coin, that immediate prize of attention. But his quietness, well, that was a long-term strategy that allowed him to get the real prize. Okay, so that's all great in theory, but what about us? How do we actually apply this? How can we even talk about this kind of quiet strength in our own lives? Well, let's equip ourselves with the right language. Let's think about the words we can use. Words like observant and perceptive, those highlight that ability to see things others just don't. Thoughtful and reflective speak to a mind that really chews on things before taking action. Being discerning means you can separate what's important from all the noise. And astute, that means you can size up a situation and turn it to your advantage. This is the language of quiet confidence. It describes an intellect that's so active and powerful, even if it's not on high volume.
You see the common thread here? Not a single one of these words is about being loud or needing to be the center of attention. They're all about one thing: being aware. Aware of the details, aware of the subtleties, and aware of that bigger picture that so many people miss in their hurry to just talk.
All right, as we start to land the plane here, I want to leave you with one final, really crucial idea that kind of ties this whole thing together. Let's be crystal clear on this point. Quietness is not an empty space. It's not an absence of confidence or an absence of thoughts or good ideas.
It's just a different way of processing the world around you. In fact, let's flip that idea on its head completely. Quietness is like fertile ground. It is the space where observation can really take root, where reflection can happen, and where real wisdom has the room it needs to grow, far away from all the noise. So I'm going to leave you with a final thought to chew on. Who are the silent scholars in your life? Maybe it's a colleague at work, maybe it's a friend, or hey, maybe it's you. It's time we start recognizing that quiet strength for the incredible, powerful force that it truly is.